Every time.
Okay, moving right now, we go into Ryan Newman. He drives the number 39 Tornadoes Chevrolet for Stewart Haas Racing. And fifth in points, Ryan is. And I think I was looking at some statistics the other day, and his driver rating is as much improved as any driver over 3 races as there is in the circuit. Ryan, talk about your season so far and your outlook for here at Bristol.
Well, I wish we could have started off Daytona better than we did, but it was still twice as good as it was the last couple of years. So going into Phoenix and Vegas, getting 2 top 5s, really proud of the team and the organization to be where we're at, achieve what we have. I think we've done a good job of carrying the momentum from 2010 into this season. At the same time, we got lucky there a little bit there in Phoenix by not getting caught up in the wreck that happened all around me that took a lot of good cars out. So it's the one thing I will say for us as a team with the U.S. Army Chevrolet is I'm proud of the way we ran at Vegas. That was one of our struggles last year and the last couple of years for that matter is our racing performance at the mile-and-a-half racetracks, and I think we did a good job of improving our performance and our capabilities at those types of tracks.
Okay, we'll take questions now. We'll start with Ed Hinton. Go ahead.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Ryan is the guy who's always willing and able to do the math on various situations. What is your assessment of, there's so many guys you expect to see in the top 12 who are down 15th, 20th, 25th, like that. What do you think of the way that the top finishes are still rewarding about equal percentage-wise, but the down 30th and below, people can get in big trouble and can go away. And is there concern in the garage about that? And are you concerned that a really bad day could drop you way down too?
I haven't done the math all the way down to 43rd in essence of seeing where people are at. I know that, I think only one spot, or I guess you could call it 2 spots, would have changed in the top 10 or top 12 from what I've seen going back to last year's point system. But, to me, it's kind of like just dropping a 0 where it's not that big a difference in the essence of what the outcome is as far as who would be a champion or who would be in the top 12. So ultimately, we've said this several times, it is the way it is. And yes, it's no different in the essence of not wanting a bad finish, because you can lose a lot in one bad weekend or one bad day or one bad mistake on a Sunday. So that none of that really to me has changed with this math or this point system.
And the other part is, early as it is, do you think about, and do you and Tony talk about that where y'all are in points right now is something that this team could sustain, that it'll stick, that you'll have staying power as the season goes on in those positions?
I feel much more confident this year than I have in the last 2 years at least, of our team's performance and our capabilities. And again, going back to Vegas, I think that's a big part of that. That was one of our weaknesses, was our balance and grip at those intermediate racetracks. And after Vegas and some of the last part of the last year, I feel like we made big improvements and are a much better and stronger team, and our pit crew stepped up as well. So I think that there's a lot of things pointing to the good for us. We just have to keep that good rolling.
Let's go over here to Dustin, Tom, Mike.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Before the next off weekend now, next 5 races, you've got 2 short tracks with here in Martinsville, 2 big tracks with California and Texas and Talladega. What are the challenges in the next 5 weekends for your team? How might these next 5 races start to shake things out? How significant of a period is this with the different types of tracks? How much can it tell about your team or other teams these next 5 weeks?
I mean, every lap's different, so I don't know that I can sit here and tell you the strategy on each lap, each restart, each racetrack, or for instance, the weather that we get at them. But to me, it's just going and attacking as we need to attack them and putting ourselves in a position. We did that at Daytona, and I think we'll have to do the same type of racing and the same type of strategy at Talladega. Texas, to me, is going to be similar to Vegas, and I think California will be our first new experience with that racetrack with a shorter distance and whatnot. So it's.
California as a way maybe to validate some of the things that happen at Vegas, or are they too different?
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I think Vegas was validation for us as to how well we ran in California last year. So, and that's part of what I was alluding to with this question of I think that we've made some big improvements as a team and as an organization, at least on the 39 car, to feel that we're not just in the top 5, but we're capable of staying in the top 5.
Ryan, Tom Jensen,
Tom,
Speed.com.
Mike, and Marty. Go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Tom Jensen, Speed.com. What are some of the technical challenges this track for a driver? And since it's been resurfaced, does the driver play less of a factor in the finish maybe than he did before?
It's different every race here. The last fall of the 500 laps, I bet I was in 6th place for 490 of them. It felt like and I've been here before where I've gone from 1st to 35th to 12th to 36th to 3rd. I mean, that's not exact, obviously, but it changes every time the way the race plays out here because of when the yellows fall, basically, is what it amounts to. The way our fuel windows work here at this racetrack, it changes a lot of things. The way guys cannot maneuver their fuel versus tire situation, and that's the biggest question mark in everybody's mind is that, and getting a good qualifying effort in to get those pit selections because this is one of the toughest pit roads.
Ryan, I just want to get your take on Danica. This is her first race here at Bristol. In your opinion, what do you think she's going to experience at this racetrack that she hasn't dealt with yet?
Bristol. I mean, it's just kind of like what I said. It's different every time. First of all, it could go, a lot of green flag runs and a lot of single file racing, or it can be crazy, and it can get randomly crazy. So she's proved a lot of things in Vegas, but I think. If I think back to my first time at Bristol, I don't necessarily remember it, but I know there's been a lot of different things that have happened every time I've been here.
We'll go Marty and then Claire.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Ryan, similar to Tom's question, I guess, what are the key differences in the way it used to be and the way it is now here, and which did you like better?
I like the racing better now than it was before. The track to me before was more demanding. Now it's smoother. And there's more maneuverability where it's, if you miss your line just a little bit, you wash up the racetrack and you come down the hill and you come back off the corner. Whereas before, if you missed your line a little bit, you were going to get freight trained maybe 10, maybe 15 spots back. And, that I think the racing from a driver's perspective is much better than it used to be with the old configuration. So I think one of the best races we ever had here was when it was brand new with that combination of track and tire. We ran 3 wide in the nationwide race for the last 20 or 30 laps, and it was awesome. I mean, it was like, holy cow, what's going to happen next? Each lap was different. So, I like it the way it is.
Claire?
Claire B. Lang, Sirius NASCAR Radio. A lot of people ask why the short tracks have been good for the 39 team and for you. You say you don't really know, but is it just a combination of things, or you just really like racing the short tracks, or your equipment is lighter and better here?
I like using the middle pedal.
Yeah.
I think, in all seriousness, I think it adds another parameter of a driver's input when you have to modulate that third pedal. I mean, we go to a place like Vegas and you're using very little brake, and it's hard when you're using a little bit. It's hard to screw it up. So I think that our team has done a really good job with the brake package that we have, and I like the short tracks. I like the having the characteristic or the character, I guess you could say, added to the program of modulating the brake, and places like here in Martinsville and Phoenix and Richmond, we've been very strong as a team.
Any other questions for Ryan? Ryan, we thank you so much and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.